It is Monday, July 18th, 2022, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year, even when there's nothing going on. And I know there's the home run derby today, but to me, that's the same thing as nothing going on. I certainly don't bet on it. I gave out my 7 free picks on it. It took me about 5 minutes. Yeah, pretty exciting day to do nothing. Chris, what are you doing with your day off?
I don't know. Do a little bit of home run derby rush up. I gotta still sort of get acclimated to getting back home after the weekend trip, and yeah, just gonna enjoy the time, start brushing up on college and NFL, and do a little bit of research there.
I had my volume turned off.
So, Brian, how about you? What are you doing? Can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Fuck.
Hey,
Darn.
come on, man.
Oh, are we on air?
Yeah, we are on the air.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I apologize. It wasn't
Pay
on
attention.
purpose. I didn't hear anything in my headphone. Sorry. My apologies.
Anyways, just not a lot going on. Yeah, we don't cry about yesterday, just like we don't pound our chest about yesterday. We got some whiners in the comments. Head on over to Ron Romanelli's video for that sort of stuff. We love Ron and we love his crowd, but that seems to be where they love to talk about yesterday and blowing up parlays and whatever the case may be. We just talk about today, try and get on winners today and into the future. We're not doing it, and we know there's certain crowds for certain things, and I think Ron, at the end of the day, he's actually not someone that is betting big parlays either. I don't know. It's just his crowd seems to do so. I don't know. Anyways, Chris, so what are you doing today, Brian, with your big day off? Got more days off than this.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just can't not do anything. I was looking at college football win totals for the different teams and what I thought was a good value. I need to force myself to take a day off, but I think me and my son will go out for a nice hike, a couple miles, and just get some nice air. Even though it's going to be hot today, I'm going to try to get outside and get some exercise.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and play some golf. See what happens. I'm still waiting for the DirecTV guy. It's been a 5-day process so far. It'll be our 5th attempt to get this shit fixed, but we will find out. Sounds like see if that happens, but yeah, really pathetic performance by DirecTV, AT&T in general. You know what the problem is with companies like AT&T?
No, not enough competition.
Well, not just that, but it's the CEO makes $28 million a year. So, for them to get you, a halfway decent customer service person, if he made 26 million instead of 28 million, same thing that, the problem with a lot of these baseball players. They make, they take $1 million or $2 million less and the whole organization would be lifted, but, they won't do it. So,
that customer service thing is a problem across the board. Just trying to get a hold of a cable company, you call in and you get automated stuff, and you just can't get a real person on the phone. It's very frustrating.
Yeah,
that's
just the case. I'm not sure if there's someone at the door or not. Hang on.
So, Chris, what'd you have for any good meals while you were out and abroad? Did you get those crab cakes?
I did get them, but I was attracted more to every crab dip that I saw on the menu when I was away, because I don't know, it's just stuff that you could probably get here, but when you're in somewhere like I was
Fresher.
in Baltimore, and that's what their MO is, and you kind of got to take advantage of it while you can. But yeah, no, I was more focused on that than any sort of crab cakes while I was away.
Yeah, I like to eat fresh seafood when I'm in a place like Maryland. So.
Anyways, what else do you guys want to talk about? Any questions from the audience? Yeah, the problem is if you cut out DirecTV and, you know, I don't care about the $100 a month. I mean, you can't get the NFL package on YouTube or any of those other things. You can only get it on DirecTV. So that means you won't have NFL games this season.
I was reading somewhere that it might be acquired by Apple TV, was what I was reading somewhere.
DirecTV?
No, NFL Sunday Ticket.
That would be awesome, because Apple TV, as lousy as their commentators are, they would pick up the network guys.
Yeah, I think I saw it was like a $3 billion deal or something like that.
Today?
No, when I was reading it over the weekend, it was
in the Business Journal. Is that what you do on the weekends? You kick back with a cup of coffee, spend a couple hours sitting and thinking in private, reading the paper.
The lamp on over my shoulder in broad daylight, and steaming cup of coffee on the table beside me. I mean, Apple TV's already acquired the MLS. Now it's like I'm not comparing the MLS to the NFL, but you can see they've already dipped their toes in the in that water with streaming all the games, and if they can get the NFL, that'd be massive.
See, I personally like the Red Zone channel better. I know I'm in the minority as far as us three go, but I just like they show every single game, and it's always
they only show the scoring, so you can't see exactly what transpired in the game. So that's why you can't in-game bet based on the Red Zone. All you see is scoring plays. So it's like you don't get to see the actual flow of the game as to exactly what's happened over the course of the game. You get a diluted view.
But sometimes you got 4 or 5 games on the screen at the same time. I know what you're saying, though. You're right. It's just I'm trying to see as much as possible.
Yeah, but if you have DirecTV, you can have every game on the screen at the same time.
Maybe I'm missing out on something.
You're absolutely missing it. You're absolutely missing it. So, Chris, what's your biggest regret over the first half of the season?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Could be anything. It doesn't have to be baseball.
Probably investing so much stock in what the Blue Jays were early on in the season, and just as much as that sounds like a homer answer, just expecting this team to be able to compete, and it just hasn't shaken out like that. Yeah, they had an 9-game win streak, but they've had multiple lengthy losing streaks, and it's going to be interesting to see if the managerial shakeup will carry over into the second half, but if the prices will stay the same.
How about you, Brian? Any regrets first half of the season?
I have lots of regrets, especially this last series that we just went through. But I would say playing the Chicago Cubs as much as I did, not that I played them every day, but any play in the Chicago Cubs wasn't really a good play since they were, 20 to 30 games below 500. I think maybe playing the Seattle Mariners more over the last 2 weeks would have been much smarter for me. I have tons of regrets. I probably couldn't name them all. But, all that being said, I'm not too far underwater in Major League Baseball. We got the month of August, which still should be some good baseball.
For me, I'd say, a lot of these -1.5 with negative odds that I avoid, I could have gone to -2.5, and I could have covered on most of them. That's really where I should have been doing a lot more of. I haven't been doing a lot of the right-in bets, the first fives, any of those things. So I don't know if I probably won't do any more of them in the second half than I did in the first. Chris, what was your best move of the first half?
Probably, going a little bit more underdog hunting and going underdog heavy. Like you always mention, the best teams in baseball are going to lose 60, 70 times a year. And, even finding value sometimes with the +1.5, because we're seeing a ton of one-run games as well. So I think it's just all about value hunting and just, really sort of trying to pick your spots, and me being open to the +1.5 and the big plus money prices have really helped me find a lot of great underdogs this season.
Mine was definitely getting rid of Kevin Thomas, was definitely one of them. Phony baloney piece of crap. Doesn't use his real name. It's not Kevin Thomas, not his real name. It's just some phony baloney. Getting rid of him was definitely one of my best moves, and Joe Madden firing her was also a great move on our part. I didn't realize that the viewers didn't like her that much. I personally like Joe. She was always very nice and everything, but I didn't realize that the viewers didn't like her. And I know our numbers were dropping, but I just figured because it was Brian, but it wasn't. It was people were saying that she sounded like nails on a chalkboard. And it's like, now that I've heard her since, it's like I totally agree with what you guys were saying. I don't know. Sometimes you take a chance, and sometimes those things work out really well, like rundown, and other times swing and a miss. I never fail because I didn't try. I only fail because I have some bad ideas once in a while, and I guess that one was one of them. I apologize to everybody out there for probably stringing it along a lot further than it needed to go. And, we're only going to be better for it in the future. Brian, how about you? Did you fire anyone? Not fire anyone?
No. But I've been enjoying tailing the Baltimore Orioles a lot this season.
You're right. You're like, you should have fired Kevin Thomas before you.
I don't know.
It's like, it's not even his real name. It's like, it's just some phony baloney.
I try to behave myself.
I know.
Anyway.
Brian doesn't like to stir the pot. I love to stir the pot. Especially with a jerk like that. Phony baloney. Fake.
Oh, this football season's coming up, and that should separate the winners from the losers out there. So, yeah. Just around the corner. I'm excited.
I hate fake people. How about fake people? They're not even like real people to begin with. They're fake people, and then they're fake of the fakes. We should change Chris's name.
I think he looks like Vito.
Okay, easy.
I think we should change it to Dan.
I was thinking Vito's. I can't.
God, I don't look like a Dan.
Yep. Dan. Change your name to Dan.
So when you went out this weekend, Chris, did you break out the leather chaps at all, or not?
No, I had them FedEx to you. I think.
Because I didn't know if you got to go out and have some fun.
No, I wore the skin tight jeans and the black V-neck. Surprisingly, didn't work. Didn't get any drinks on my way.
I was looking to send you a special birthday message on Cameo, but Jesus, some of those guys are very excited. Just to say happy birthday. It's like you won't even like it anyway.
So anyways, we got football season is just a few weeks away. Who do you think's the most overblown team? Like the one that like people have the highest expectations for, in the NFL that might not be as good as people think. Chris?
Trying to think.
I'm going to say Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think without Gronk, I think that Brady is at the end of his rope. I do. And probably not going to be pretty.
I hate to say it, but until I really see otherwise, I'm going to go back to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I'm not. They're always that team that it's always going to be their year, and then something always happens. I know the injury bug's bitten them a couple times, but I don't know. I just don't see it with the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's a volatile division that any of those four teams could potentially steal it, and it becomes the NFC least once again. So probably for me, the Dallas Cowboys.
I always do NFL football. Halftimes. I've done them long before. I've done them with many different people over the years. I've done them by myself. I've been doing NFL halftimes forever, and I'll be doing those for sure. This year, my plan is to just fly solo. It's just easier for me. And I think that's what people want. At least that was the feedback I got last year, which I ignored like an idiot. How about you, Brian? Who's the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year besides the Eagles?
Well, I would have liked to have had 24 hours to think about this question, but it's just off the top of my head. Probably the Dallas Cowboys always seem to have bloated lines, inflated lines. It's a big fan base. LA Rams might be overrated. I'm not sold in their quarterback position. And I'm going to keep my eye on the Washington Commanders this year. I know I said that last year, too, and I got taken to the woodshed on them. But There's a few teams out there.
I'm a big seller of the Eagles at 9.5 wins.
Oh yeah, I think
I'm a big seller.
I think you go under in wins there. You're a Jalen Hurts not liker, but I just don't think the Eagles have enough.
Anything
they
else?
have enough to. I think they're an 8-win team at best.
At best. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? You think how big of a step back do they take this year?
See, Andy Reid's kind of not on the same level as Bill Belichick, but Andy Reid seems to have the Chiefs just humming along here. And what's the season win total for the Kansas City Chiefs? Because I see him getting 10 wins, but
yeah, but you got,
I assume it's
Tyreek Hill, kind of that bailout guy, is gone.
Yeah, but they had a lot of guys like Tyreek Hill on the
defense looked to be a problem, and also the tackle positions, still continue.
And we're a couple of years into that Chiefs run where we're getting a lot of guys getting high paid and having to make salary decisions there for Kansas City, so you could see them take a step back for sure. I think the San Francisco 49ers are Trey Lance, but I know you're an anti-Trey Lance guy. We'll see. I think the Niners are a team to keep an eye on this year.
Anyways, how about you, Chris?
I like the Dallas Cowboys, but now I'm starting to think about it. The Baltimore Ravens. We don't know what's going on with this Lamar Jackson contract thing, and I'm really not all that fond of their receiving core. You might see the running backs take a step forward here, but I'm not. The Baltimore defense also isn't what it used to be as well, and I think the fact they're in the AFC North, with a rebuilding Pittsburgh team with a quarterback situation, Cleveland team that really, now relying on Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback, and a Cincinnati team is probably going to win that division. I don't know. I don't see it for the Baltimore Ravens. Like this is a team that's got 10.5 win total. I don't know how they get to better than a 9-8 record.
We haven't seen Deshaun Watson in a while. You think he comes out gangbusters, or you think a little bit of rust?
Can I say both? Because I think there's like I think there will be a big,
actually you can't. It's kind of one or the other.
I think
okay, fine.
That is like trying to take a Ruffalo, but like tap dancing around it. It's like I'll have both. It's like it's like he goes to the wedding, he orders the both, off the menu. It's like we have the steak or the fish. It's like, yes, I will have both.
As soon as I said that, I was like, damn it.
It's like
I think he's gonna come out with a chip on his shoulder, but I think he's gonna play too hard and make those mistakes, and the rust will look like it's a factor.
And then how about you, Brian?
I don't know. I see the Cleveland Browns having Mayfield at quarterback was one of their detriments. I think Deshaun Watson's just a pure athlete out there. It might take him a few games to get adjusted, but I think the Browns are going places, at least on offense. I could see Watson having a big season.
All right.
Especially Nick Chubb at running. You got dual head running backs for the Cleveland Browns. Well,
dual head running backs?
Well, I don't know if that's the right terminology, but you got Chubb and actually they probably got 3 running backs. So Browns got an attack. They could see like a Baltimore style attack. We'll see. And the Ravens are Harbaugh always has the Ravens ready to go. So I think it'll be an interesting AFC there.
All right. Any thoughts on the home run derby? I did a video on it, and so did Chris.
Honestly, I didn't even pay attention to it. What I did look at was Georgia's schedule and how I know we're not talking about college football, but how weak the Georgia Bulldogs schedule is. And it just, I don't see how they don't get back to the playoffs. I know they still have to go through Alabama, but that Georgia schedule is just weak.
Well, they lost most of their team. They lost that whole defense.
They're favored by like 16-18 against Oregon, week 1.
Yeah, so was Ohio State. So was Ohio State last year at home against Oregon. They were favored by about 18.
Where do you see Georgia losing to, though? I looked at their schedule.
Well, they don't have the defense that they had last year. That's for sure. They don't have any experience.
I'm not a number 1 team guy.
Vulnerable.
I don't go jump on Georgia just because they were good last year. I just looked at their schedule. It just seemed extremely weak.
There's no such thing as a weak SEC schedule, especially when South Carolina has beaten them so many times over the years. Anyways, Chris, who's your college team that you think takes the step forward? A lot of people on Texas A&M play Miami this year. Chris sounds better this way.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to breathe into the mic. I think I've heard a lot of the same rumblings like Texas A&M, but I still think the Houston Cougars. I think this is a solid team under Dana Holgorsen. They still got Clayton Tune at quarterback. You know, I think we saw a great Houston team last year. I think they're only going to get better. I don't know. This Houston team for me could be another one of those teams that maybe tries to shock the college football playoff and maybe try to make a run at it. But for me, Houston.
What about the Utah Utes? They go and get that road win in Florida. Their schedule's not too tough.
I gave Utah a look as well, but for me, it's still, playing in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 not what it was last season, or sorry, not what it was in past seasons last year. So I need to see the Pac-12 kind of improve before really giving them a shot against anybody else in the playoff picture.
Who do you think's the surprise team? I mean, you have obviously a lot of shakeup. Clemson was not the same team they were last season. Nick Saban probably in his final years at Alabama. You got to figure this year and next is probably it for him. Doesn't really have anywhere to go and really no reason to stay. At the same time, Will Venables takes over at Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley now at USC. Brings a lot of guys with him. Dylan Gabriel now at Oklahoma. Riding that ship. I don't know. Should be pretty interesting. Oklahoma and Texas, of course, final years in the Big 12. Be interesting to see how the refs treat them.
Oklahoma's schedule.
Brian's talking college football in the drive-through. I saw USC.
Yeah, I think that they're going to – it's hard to say USC is going to be a surprise team or a breakout team because they're USC, but I think Lincoln Riley, his first year there, he had success his first year in Oklahoma. USC has the athletes, and their schedule's not too bad this year. So I won't give out when I'm going to give out in the drive-through, but anyway, I like USC this year.
How about you, Chris? You like USC this year?
Yeah, I like what I'm
They do
seeing.
open with Rice, so it's like they got their hands full there.
Usually, Rice is usually a way to get started a lot of things, but I do like USC. I want to see how the Lincoln Riley move adjusts, but not to shift too much. But I think another team to watch is NC State. Dave Doran has this team, right where he wants them. They went 9-3 last year. They bring back a lot of production, and I think we saw, some of the best NC State in that win over Clemson, and I think if they can use that recipe again, this could be an NC State team to watch as well.
Might have to write that down. They weren't even on my radar.
You think that, Georgia's got the easy schedule. Outside of Clemson, Miami, Clemson's got really nobody on the schedule whatsoever.
Yeah, super weak.
Furman, Louisiana Tech, and South Carolina they're out of conference this year, and they got Notre Dame at Notre Dame, so that will be the big one for them. And at home against Miami.
That will be a tough one.
I don't know. The Canes are going to be a different team this year. I don't know if they'll be ready for primetime, but Van Dyke certainly looked to be a real player last year at quarterback. Certainly.
What's their over-under for wins?
Certainly will
Miami?
Be a Heisman contender. I'm not sure.
Let me see if I can pull it up quick.
37.5.
I had 8.5. 8.5 for Miami.
Love the over.
There's no juice on the over currently, so that's not bad.
Love it. Love the over. Anyways, the Home Run Derby, I did a video. Chris did a video, so you can check those out. Mine is about 5 minutes. Chris is 3 minutes. Spencer Rattler is beating Clemson this year. Book it. Sure he is. Terrible.
I can't say he's terrible. Wait till the end of the year. He might have a good year.
Terrible. Not a good player. Anyways, we did it. We showed up. There was nothing going on. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be another lousy show. And Wednesday, probably even worse. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We might even go a little bit early just so we can finish earlier. See you guys tomorrow. Make it a great day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Anyone that bought long-term packages, hit me up with an email so I can extend you out a little bit. The yearly, obviously, there's nothing we can do. But, if it's a weekly or a 3-day or something, I'll extend it
Christmas in July for all these guys, so make sure you check them all out. So.
Yeah, this was a terrible show. And I'll admit it. At least we showed up. For what reason? I'm not sure. Sometimes it does more harm than good.